folks, at last I've finally managed to get up to the Cairngorm ski resort car park, and I've already seen the Snow Bunting, so wonderful. I'll get out and start filming them, but I just thought I'd do a little piece to camera just to introduce this video, because the snow is a bit wet outside. It's not dry snow, so I'm going to struggle with keeping the lens dry when I do get out, so I thought I'd just do a little bit to camera just now. Now, it's amazing to think that up here there is literally 3 feet of snow in places, and yet down at the bottom of the the Cairngorm in the Aviemore area, there's absolutely no snow. So incredible. But at last, 4 days waiting, and we'll get out and start doing a little bit of the snow bunting. Well, I got trouble with the Pocket 3 saying that the temperature is a bit too low for it, but hopefully it's going to record this. So what I've done is I've set the seed into the snow so that I can't really see it from the... I've got a snow bunting just arrived. Try and find it. So I've set the seed around about sort of 4 to 5 meters away from me, and the birds seem to be happy with that, and with the 600mm lens I can really get a nice frame filling shot as I want. So now what I did really was 2 things. I mean, I put a bit of seed, spread it around to encourage the birds to just move around to collect it, because obviously in the normal their normal behaviour is they're constantly moving and picking up seeds that they find amongst the heather here, and so sometimes you think, well, put the seed just in one spot, which is fine. I have done that, but I've also got a little bit around it just to encourage the bird to move around. So I've also put the rain cover just over the camera body, and because as I've mentioned before, the Red Komodo X is not designed to be weatherproof, so this is harsh conditions, and as I say, it's driving snow, not heavy, but it's kind of wet snow, so as soon as it lands on anything it just turns to water. So it's very easy, this sort of photography here, to get really natural shots, because I mean, yes, you've got the car park literally meters away from me, but the rest of it is full-on Cairngorm's mountain, so you know, this is a completely natural environment, and so very easy to get sort of natural shots. You're not needing to provide perches and the like. Now this is also a good place to come for mountain hare. They are here, but the chances of spotting one, I saw tracks in the car park in the snow, so they are really, you know, close to here, but seeing one in all this snow is probably going to be a real hard task. So that's where a thermal imager might come in handy. Wow, that was fantastic. It's and so easy to do. I mean, literally the birds are about 4 meters away from the back of the van, so you don't have to walk far. The only thing that I'm really struggling with is this sort of driving snow. It's as I say, it's so wet, and so your gloves get wet, and then your finger ends are dropping off. So I've just come back to the van just to have a bit of a warm and water dry and a cup of tea, and then I'll have another go at it. Now I'd love to be able to do sound recording here, but there's so much going on with the car park. I might give it a try, just see if I can get some, because the birds are quite vocal. But say there's so much noise going on. Perhaps if I came, you know, later in the day, and then it might be a little easier to actually get some sound recordings of them. But what a lovely place to be. Looks like the other photographers have had a similar idea to me. Heading back to the car. It seemed quite warm when I got out of the car when I first got here, but my finger ends are telling me different now. Whenever I'm back at home after a trip, I always try and reflect on, is there anything I can learn? Is there any modifications to the equipment that I need to do, or anything to repair and so on? And this is no exception. Now, there were a few things that showed themselves on the mountain. Now, the biggest one was the screen. Snow was hitting the screen and turning to water, and so I was getting a lot of droplets of water on the screen, and so that was hampering my ability to see what was going on, of focus and so on. And also it meant that a couple of drops of water were on the front element of the lens, and I wasn't able to pick that up. And also when I was wiping the screen, because this is a touch screen monitor, all the menus were popping up, and so it took me some time to then clear that back to the main screen that I want to look at. And so what I'm trying to look into right now is using a EVF, an electronic viewfinder. Now, I've had this for many years, used to use it on me other cameras, but I really do prefer this screen on the Red Komodo X, this small HD screen. And I do tend to prefer screens generally. I used to mount another screen to me all the cameras as well, because there's a few sort of benefits to having a larger monitor like this. The first is I'm able to look at the image, but also take in the greater environment, whereas an EVF, you do tend to find that you're buried in the EVF, and it really does narrow your field of view. And so if there's some action going on separate to what you're actually looking at, you can quite often miss that. And another issue is, particularly when the camera is low to the ground, you're having to bend down and spend a lot of time sort of looking into that viewfinder, and I find that quite awkward, and particularly after hours and hours of doing it. And so I do, like I say, I do prefer the ease of use of a big screen. However, on the mountain, that was posing problems. Now, the second problem was the simple fact of the size of the screen. You know, sticking up like this, it was acting like a sail, introducing vibration into the footage. And so, you know, having an EVF would reduce that. Now, the other main reason that I'm wanting to do this is so I'm able to keep the camera covered in a waterproof cover. And so I was, as you saw in the footage, I've got the cover over the camera like that. And the problem I had with that was the record button is at the back of the camera, covered by the cover. And so I was hunting for the switch. I was struggling to actually find the switch, and even worse when you've got you know, your gloves on. And so what I'm looking into now is to buy a separate record switch on a cable, and that I'm able to plug into the control unit at the back of the camera here, and then route that down and fix it to the tripod handle. And what that will allow me to do is simply to hold the handle, keep one hand on the focus puller, and then look through either whichever screen I'm using, but just use the thumb to start and stop recording. Now, that would benefit me with the crested tit as well, because those birds were moving so quickly. Quite often I'd get one into focus and then come up to start recording it, and it had already moved, and so I was having to do this all the time. And it would be much better if I was able to keep my hand on both the handle and the focus puller, and then just be able to record that way, because you want to be able to, you can't, it's better to stop recording, particularly with a red, because you end up with so big files, you're filling your cards. You don't want lots and lots of sort of wasted data of trying to focus on it and so on. So you want to be able to have that control. Now, the third issue that I was having was with the audio. Now, for quite some time, I've just had the bracket with the one mounting point for the microphone that just slid into the mounting point like that, and that was mounted on the side of the camera. Now, what was happening, because the wind was hitting the microphone, it was bouncing and hitting the camera, and then I was getting that noise in my recordings. And so what I'm going to do is to modify this bracket, introduce a second mounting point so that the microphone can be held by one and the XLR connector can be held by the second, and hopefully that will remove the issue with unwanted noises coming from the equipment bouncing around. So I think that about covers it. Please feel free to subscribe and to hit the like button if you have enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, all the best to you, and bye for now.